How's it going?
Congratulations, Jake.
Thanks, Sarah. Appreciate it.
Let's talk about your health, though. You gave us quite a scare with a couple of falls. First off, was Survivor checking in on you at all during
Yeah,
this?
they check on you. I mean, they check you before every immunity challenge, every tribal council. I was in good hands. Like,
Okay,
I was all right. I haven't passed out before Survivor. I haven't passed out since. I'm all good.
okay. Okay, that's my main concern that we didn't have any underlying issues. You turned
No,
out okay. Yes?
yeah, yeah,
Great. Well, it seemed like after, I guess, the Caleb vote, and then we just kind of lost a Bella. Your game just kind of slipped. How was your mindset during this time?
oh man, it sucked. Like, I mean, I wish Caleb had stayed. I think it's like the right move for me. But like, yeah, after that, it was just like we just couldn't get it together. It's just like no one could see eye to eye on anything as an opposition to Reba in any sense. Like, so it's just like tough. It's just like, damn, like it's just slipping and slipping away from you, and you're waiting for Reba to crack, and it happened just so late.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it was really tough to be there. And it's just like, oh my God, guys, what are we doing? Like, you know what I mean?
I mean, I know it's frustrating to hear your name, and we saw you those moments on the beach, just like looking at sunrises, about your game. Was there any thought about breaking up Austin and Drew? That's what we didn't see in the edit. Was there talk about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, Drew, like in my mind, Drew is always like, I mean, Olive Reba's a massive threat. In my mind, Drew was very seemed to be like doing a lot. I thought in my mind that like D and Drew were the biggest threats. And that I might like if it was gonna rank like in my mind, I thought it was D, Drew, Julie, and then Austin as terms of
Hmm.
like how threatening they were for the group. I think
Hmm.
maybe like D and Julie are pretty close. Maybe you swap them. But there was talk like I did try to like, go to Emily like maybe Drew's a good idea and just nothing
Right.
ever bit.
So you found the idol though. Congrats. You play it on Katura, and then she changes her vote. Talk me through this.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, it was really tough. You know what I mean? Because like I was all in. Like I did what I said I was gonna do. And I thought like, coming out early to Katora, like with the rings thing, just say, yo, here's all the cards on the table. Like it would have earned something, like even if not at that vote later on. It just never did. She just didn't trust me. And I think something that may have helped is like I was really going back and forth between Julie and D that day. And like, I mean, I think that kind of showed in the episode. And like in my mind, D was always the bigger threat, but I like was concerned with Julie making fire, and Couture made an amazing argument for D to go. And I'm like, oh my God, you're right. You know what I mean? So for that to not work out, like I was like, what happened? And she's like, oh, D started crying. And I thought D was crying for me leaving. And I'm like, what? But yeah, she got spooked and it didn't happen.
I mean, you didn't mind Julie going, probably. You'd been gunning for Julie. So was it just disappointment that the plan didn't come together, but either way is okay for you?
No, I disagree. I think like
Mhm.
I needed to be like in the know and like orchestrating something. I
Mhm.
think with my idol, I really try to maximize it. Like I think telling Austin is the right move because it got back to D. I thought it might got back to Julie and telling Couture that's votes that weren't coming for me. I mean, the girls want to vote me out that day. They said it on the episode, so then I wasn't getting votes on me. Julie's not voting for D and D's not voting for Julie. Votes are probably going on Couture if they think I have an idol. So it's like, let me show the jury that I believe that I need Couture to stay here, potentially negate votes. Don't tell Couture. Couture's genuine reaction, I think, makes me look more in control. Austin's out of the loop on another vote. So I think, if I'm able to pull that off, I think I go into Final Tribal with like a much more solid argument than had that not happened. So it was really less about Julie versus D and more just like having a notch in the resume. You know what I mean? Because Julie goes, it's like, yeah, but it's not really my choosing. You know what I mean? And it's not the credit isn't like mostly viewed as Jake heavy.
So going into this final tribal, you have to prepare, you have to get ready to talk to the jury. How was your mindset at that point?
I mean, I kind of like knew the deal. I mean, it was a real bummer because like it's like, I mean, the most hot wrenching part is just like D and Austin are amazing, and it's like sitting there. It's like, damn, if I was on the jury, like I probably wouldn't have voted for me, even me painted in the best light. And so like that hurts, but it's like you got to do the best with what you got. And I was like thinking all day, like I had an opening statement. They like didn't make it. I said something along the lines of like Boston Rob has never played well from the bottom. Julio Diaz-Twine has never played well from the top. This is an apple and orange situation. I ask you to judge me as an orange, judge them as apples. And that's what I tried to like push. And like I do feel like the jury was very fair and like giving me questions to answer. It's just, they played the better game.
You were amazing television. Your confessionals were fantastic. Watching you was such a joy. But I really loved hearing you say, like, no matter what, but it's on Survivor, right?
Yeah.
So sum up this experience. Like, what was the highlight of this experience for you?
Oh my God. So many highlights. So many highlights. It's like honestly, like after I passed out and like I thought I was getting pulled, they never really brought up me getting pulled. I just thought, passing out, they're gonna pull you. I was
Yeah.
like, I really need to like milk this for everything because it could end at any point. And just so it's like even like I'm the person who's singing in the rain, you know what I mean? Like day 10, we had a terrible rainstorm and I'm like singing, you know what I mean? And it's funny, like and even like the bad moments, it's like and like the moments that were like rough, it's like, oh, I'm like wet for the 20th day in a row, nothing's ever dry. It's like, yeah, but it's bad on Survivor. You're doing okay. You know what I mean? It's just such an absolute blessing and like pie in the sky thing to even be where I am, like how could you be upset about it? And like and like the cool thing about being on Survivor too is you meet so many cool people. Like no one's truly a bum on Survivor. Like everyone's got something going on. They got something to teach you if you're willing to listen.
Are the relationships the biggest thing you're taking away from this?
Absolutely. The relationships and then like, just like the personal, like I think you can use Survivor as just such like a personal like reflection thing. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's going to tell you what you're good at. It's going to tell you what you're bad at. You know what I mean? And I think to enjoy where Survivor compliments you and where it doesn't, like I think it's a good room for introspection on oneself. Like I don't think you gotta like take all of Reddit's crap, but you know what I mean? But it's an opportunity if people take it. And that's what I've tried to do in my life. Like I want to travel more. I want to, maybe think a little bit more before I speak sometimes. That could benefit me a little bit more in life.
Well, you were so fun to root for. Thank you so much for your time today, Jake.
Thank you.